Hello, everyone. It is Pat with our Oracle card reading and message for this upcoming week of April 23rd through the 29th of 2018. We're finally stepping into spring here in New England where I am, which is so nice to see the beautiful sun again, to see the greenery and the flowers coming up. So anyways, going into our week, of course, I'm going to be calling on the Archangels Oracle card deck for who's overseeing us this week and what their messages are for us. I also dipped back into the fairies, the mermaids, and a deck that my teacher Doreen had originally come out with. This was the first ever angel card oracle deck. It was Healing with the Angels, and I felt drawn back to that today for whatever reason. So looking ahead into this week, I went ahead and picked cards, but Archangel Michael is very strongly present with us this week. So the card that came out for us, the Archangel card, was this one, Remember Who You Are. And the message on the card says, you are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God, and you are very loved. So what I think this heralds for our week is that I just sense that there's going to be some changes taking place. And these changes have to do, for many of us, with stepping into our power. All right. When you remember who you are, okay, and you get back in touch with that, you start a process of taking back your power from things, or there's an awareness comes of where you've been giving your power away to other people, situations, entities like maybe your employer, or the politicians of the world, the government, what have you. So this is about remembering who you are, and maybe a little bit about your mission and what you feel called here to do. And so it's about taking your power back. And I feel like this has to do with changes that are coming about, having to do that. Both changes that you initiate yourself, that are kind of bubbling up from within you. And also, just circumstances, in the world. So, anyways, Michael is a very strong guide and protector that way. I mean, he's very motivating. So, when he shows up, there's usually a strong motivation or courage to finally make a change or a step in a direction. He's all, if you remember any of his cards from other decks, it's about moving forward fearlessly, things like that. So in this instance, this is about stepping into your power. And the important pieces of this card is that, remember that you, as you are very loved. And the other piece that stood out to me about this card, which I wanted to remember. So he's reminding us not to be afraid of our power, and not to be afraid to step into that, okay? Which might sound kind of strange. You might think, why would you be afraid to step into your power? But it is very frightening sometimes, or it makes you feel very vulnerable. But he's wanting you to know that he's got your back, and that when you step into your power, you actually inspire other people. When you make changes that are more aligned with your interests and what works for you, it inspires other people. So, anyways, that's what, that's a feeling I get for, about this card for this week. And it's, I feel like it's just also a message, in the sense that to get back to who you are, to get back to your roots in some way for some people. Sometimes we've stepped outside of that, and we've lived in, somebody else's way of being for a while, or we've been pulled out of it and more committed in another environment, maybe a work environment or personal environment, where we can function, but it's not really who we are. It's not, so this is about, getting back to remembering who you are, what you like, what you're about, what really resonates with you, and that, and that's okay. It's, that's where your power lies. So pay attention to that for this coming week. Now, for the angels, and I pulled angels and mermaids and fairies. I was just all over the place this morning with pulling cards. But when I pulled the healing angel cards, Archangel Michael came up again. The beginning of the week with the angel cards had this card, Soulmate. And isn't that an adorable little picture of the two little kids? So, the beginning of the week heralds attention to relationships and partnerships, and maybe specifically a soulmate partnership for you. At the end of last week's reading, we got the card Love Life. So I feel like for many people out there who are single, it's a time when you're focusing on that again, where what you need to do, what you need to do to enhance yourself, what changes you may need to make in your life to make space for a relationship. Maybe taking a deep dive into looking at what you really want from a relationship, especially a soulmate, real committed partnership with someone. So, if you're already in one, you may be working on issues in that relationship, maybe deepening it, what makes you feel very connected to this person. But in general, soulmates aren't just romantic partnerships. There can be friends who are like your soulmate. You've known them for many lifetimes. There can be even business partnerships sometimes that work really well together, where they really, have a soul connection. So the beginning of the week heralds some attention to that, and working on that. And maybe if you are that single person, you may encounter finally that person who is your soulmate. Okay, or develop more an awareness of them, like, could this be that person? So, let's see. So Archangel Michael came up for the middle of the week. And he always shows up when, again, we're calling on him. There's that need for protection or that need to feel empowered. And it's just a sign and a signal that he's working with us in whatever changes that we are hoping to make, trying to make, looking to make in our life. So you may feel a very motivated energy middle of the week. If you're embracing that as part of this week, this making changes and taking your power back, you may feel a very motivated energy come up, pushing you forward to really make some change things around and make some significant changes, and either more consciously in a direction that you really want to go, or you might be completely changing directions too and deciding to go in a different way. But whatever the case, there's a strong motivated energy behind it that has to do with Archangel Michael. And he always provides his protection along with that too. So it is about moving forward without that fear. Not that the fear isn't there completely, but when Michael's energy and motivation is there, you don't allow it to worry you so much or make you procrastinate or hesitate. You just go. Pardon me. Towards the end of the week, we have this card that's come up with meditation. And it just signals that as the week draws to a close, there's some time that's carved out for quiet time to process things. Okay, you may find yourself, even if you don't have this may be for people who are engaging in a formal meditation practice as well, that you're desire to endeavor to learn that or do that. But if you're not someone who does that, you may find that by the end of the week or over the weekend, you're having these moments where you find out, where you're kind of sitting out or you're by yourself, either out in the woods or around your house at different times. And you're just in these moments of quiet contemplation where, maybe you're thinking about something, thinking it through. But there's more time with yourself and taking the time to think through things. Okay. I always find that if someone doesn't regularly meditate, that when this card shows up, that they feel innately drawn to just spend some time by themselves. You know, maybe taking a walk out in the woods on their own. We still feel called to it, even if you don't do it as a formal practice. There's a part of your, your spirit that just needs quiet time away from all sorts of distractions to, remember who you are and be with your own inner essence. Okay, the part of you that knows what to do. So that's what I sense coming in at the end of the week. There's just maybe a lot more quiet time that you're taking for yourself, to process, to think things through, what have you. So those are the healing with the angel messages. I'm just going to briefly go through some of what the mermaids and the fairies came up with. All right, so these are the mermaid readings cards that came up. The beginning of the week held this protection, and it says, you, your loved ones, and your possessions are safe and protected by heaven. So again, protection and that need to feel safe is an Archangel Michael issue. He provides that. We can call upon him for that. And so at the beginning of the week, the mermaids remind you that you're protected. Because it feels like with the changes that you may be thinking of making, including if that involves allowing a soulmate into your life, you're worried and concerned about how it may affect your children and your family life. And so the angels and the mermaids are letting you know that you're protected as you make these changes. It's going to be okay. I mean, if you look at this mermaid, she's holding that little baby close to her heart, and in her motherly protectiveness. And so we always are most concerned about that when we go into things. So anyways, the card is letting you know you're protected and it's safe for you to make some of these changes. Okay. Middle of the week, they gave you the card just, yes, your intuition is correct about this. So take action on it. There's always times that we come across where our intuition is telling us something, but our logical mind steps in the way with this, yeah, but this, yeah, but that, and it's, as intuitives, we call it logic override. And this is an additional sign, middle of the week, to trust your intuition. Yes, your intuition about it is right on. So take the action that you know that you need to make or that you'd like to make. You're in touch with your truth about this, so move forward with it. And so the end of the week, where the angels told us about meditation time, taking time out, we got mother healing. And it says, your feelings towards your mother healing and desires manifesting more rapid. And as you do that, as your feelings towards your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. So it's letting you know that there's some issues there that need to be healed. And I feel like it has to do, for some of you out there, with receiving, okay? Allowing new things into your life, okay? And feeling deserving of receiving. So, because that's why it says, as your feelings towards your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly, okay? And it very much is connected to healing any issues with receiving help from other people, receiving gifts, compliments, and receiving in a way where you feel, deserving of it. That can be a tough one for people sometimes. So, part of what you may be working through in your meditation is maybe issues that are going on. This is also, mother healing has different issues to it. It also speaks to, if there's things going on with your mother, if your mother's passed or if she's ill, you're processing stuff related to her and maybe reviewing past life, memories from your lifetime about her. So, welcome that. It's not always easy to be in that space, but it's very healing. So we're at the end of our time today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership, and I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. Take care, everyone.